I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for joining me today, Junae. It has been an honor to have you here. I am very excited, and your accomplishments, in the marketing industry is just truly inspiring to me. So, why don't we kick it off? So, with being the Beyonce of marketing, is there a formula or a process that you deploy when it comes to infusing your own personality into a brand?
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here and thank you for the kind words. I would say I don't necessarily think I infuse my personality because every time I work with a client, I'm understanding that, I may or may not be the target audience. But what I will say is that I do have a very free flowing, risk taking, innovative kind of personality. And I do try to apply that to the brands that we serve. And so I think if anything, it's more of that, maybe, being bold and kind of having that kind of attitude towards things. And yeah, I guess, that's really my approach. It's just, I think every marketer is special. I always say marketing is about people. And so, one, it's understanding people, but I think it's also a lot about understanding who you are, what makes you tick, and being able to kind of reverse engineer that when you're applying it to brands, whether you're the target audience or not. And so, again, I think about boldness, I think about being innovative, I think about empathy, I think about, those things that kind of make me me, that also make me good at what I do.
Awesome. Okay. So in an ever-evolving digital landscape, what strategies do you employ to stay ahead of the curve and continuously engage in this digital generation?
Yeah, I'm interesting because I don't know if people realize that just from following me online, but I am very much a nerd when it comes to a lot of things, but definitely the things that I'm passionate about. Marketing is one of those things. I don't really watch a lot of television unless it's related to like power dynamics or something where I feel like I'm learning something that I can apply to my life for the most part, or I'm doing research on something. And so for the most part, I've just fully immersed myself in it. It's something that I love. And so it doesn't feel like work to stay on top of, what are the latest trends and things going on in the industry. It's part of my job to know. And so that could be watching and binging YouTube videos on a topic that I need to understand more. That could be, you know, playing around with prompts in AI softwares or in Chat GPT just to kind of see what's going on. I mean, I guinea pig my own social media a lot, which is kind of like the benefit. One of the benefits of having a strong personal brand is that, I test things on me before I ever bring them to clients. Like 9 times out of 10, like if you see me like super active, because I have a very, because I work in marketing and in social, I have a slightly detached relationship with it. And so a lot of times what I'm doing is actually like A/B testing on strategies, on methods, on tactics. Other things I do is I definitely am subscribed to some different newsletters at this point in my career. A lot of it is CEO stuff, but a lot of it is still marketing stuff. I like platforms like Daily Carnage. That's a good one that I like. I just try to stay kind of, I like Marketing Brew still. Shout out to Marketing Brew, the fam over there. But yeah, I just definitely immerse myself in this. And I read books, not just books on the subject and the topic, but sometimes things that are just about something that was marketed wonderfully. And then I'm online a lot, a lot. Not to the point where it's like negatively affecting my mental health, but I'm on there a lot just to kind of see what people are talking about. And you kind of get to the point where, like, another reason why I don't watch a lot of television shows is because it takes me it's very easy for me to figure out what about this thing people like. And that's all I really need to know as a marketer. I don't need to ingest everything. I just need to know what people like about it so that I can understand the mechanics behind it and be able to use that in any work that I'm doing, or just kind of be aware of it, because again, this is a complete study of people, of consumer behavior. And so it's a lot of just at this point what seems casual, but once you get into the practice of it, it becomes second nature. I don't go a day without learning something about the field or about the different, subcategories of the field that I specialize in.
Okay. Wow, that was awesome. Okay. So could you share a specific instance where you successfully bridged the gap between pop culture and a brand's message, resulting in particularly an impactful marketing campaign?
Yeah, for sure. We did a campaign. This makes me think of a campaign we did with Procter and Gamble South Africa with Venus Gillette. And it was in conjunction with a Black owned startup company that specialized in online shopping, which outside of the Western world is huge. They have almost completely adapted into the live shopping realm. So not just online shopping, but live almost auction like shopping. And the idea was to prove that concept to a brand like Procter and Gamble and all the Fortune 500 brands that sit under them. And so what we did was we chose four beautiful women of color influencers who are very popular in South Africa. Many of them were beauty influencers. Um, and we came up with a campaign that was cozy skin. And at the time Beyonce had dropped Renaissance, and so cozy was going crazy. And what we basically had them do was really kind of show the consumer, one, how the product is used, but then we also had them tell their personal stories about wellness and skincare and their kind of like shaving journey and like what that looks like, and made it very personalized, because although it's something that a lot of women do, it's not really something that we talk about that much. And I think it was really impactful for their community and even just people who kind of stumbled upon the campaign to hear from them, get the demonstration. It also allowed the influencers to do something that many of them had never done before, because it's one thing to create an influencer campaign and it's just a video of you in your house. It's another thing to have to live sell. And kind of, so there was just this cross this cross thing of, Venus Gillette being able to understand the power of women of color influencers and how they can infuse pop culture. Of course, we had Cozy as the song for the reel and the TikToks when the influencers posted, which is very cute and fun. We allowed the influencers, we gave them some scripting, but we kind of allowed them to do their own thing. So there was that aspect. There was also the aspect, again, of, Venus Gillette is, I think it's a very inclusive and fun brand to an extent, but I don't think they had ever been that fun. And so that was great. And the trick is to that here, winter, like right now we're in winter in South Africa. I believe they're entering spring or summer. And so at the time, it was also about how to take care of your skin. Summer's getting ready to happen, or, in winter, some people don't shave during the winter. So there was this whole thing. It was educational. People were able to learn more, and they actually did shop in real time. Like the sales did very well. And so then it also was impactful for the Black owned startup that was being, kind of needing a proof of concept, and for them to have that opportunity with such a large brand was incredible all around. The head project manager lead over at Venus Gillette was a Black woman as well. And so I loved it. I thought it was great. And I was like, it would be us to stumble into something like this. But it was a cool way to, again, infuse what's happening in pop culture, the conversations that people and women in South Africa are having, the conversations and the types of style of content that are popular, and Beyonce. So it was great. And that's kind of an example of not just doing the same old boring thing. Even just taking, Venus Gillette's, they had like some taglines, my skin, my way, things like that. And we kind of infused that, and we're like, well, how can we kind of centralize this, make it a little bit different, and make women feel cozy in their skin, which is what we did. So I'd say that's probably the first example that comes to mind.
That is amazing and great use of the song. I am team Beyonce all day, so yes.
Nice.
Okay, so with having your own agency, Brown to Perfection, what are some things that you look for as an experienced marketer when searching to build a powerful marketing team?
Yeah, so great question. We will be 8 in next June. And
Next.
so it's a long time, right? Time flies when you're having a good time. But I say that to say I've learned so much through trial and error about hiring and about building a powerful team. Um, excuse me. And so at this point, and we are as a company, I'm definitely looking for innovators. Um, I don't enjoy ever feeling like I'm the most creative person in the room. I think that's the whole point of having a team, right? Is that like this is not all coming from one or two or even three people. It's everyone putting their heads together. I definitely look for people who have their own sauce, so to speak, so their own thing about them that makes them special. A lot of people can just do the job. And that's something I look for too, right? Because you don't also want to have someone that's super creative but can't do the work that's required to execute. But then also, you don't kind of want people who aren't passionate about what we're doing either. I think marketing is a very passionate thing. Even when you feel jaded, you still have to have a sense of, you have to have a pulse. And you have to have a pulse on culture. You have to have a pulse on yourself. I like people who are curious. I like people who don't take no for an answer in terms of like, we can't do that. That would be crazy. If it sounds crazy, that's probably exactly what we should do. And so I think those are the kind of people that I look for right now. And, again, people who don't want to be in marketing just because it's sexy, right? Like just because it becomes this sexy, sexy career. Like I really look for people who live, eat, breathe, and sleep this, and not in a way where like they don't have a balanced life. And because I also don't believe in like the completely life is work is your whole life thing, but just people who really want to do this and understand that it's work. A lot of times our clients cross over and intersect with entertainment, and so that's another thing. It's just, again, it looks nice, it looks fun, and sometimes it is, but it's work, it's real work. And you know I care a lot about our clients. We don't work with clients that we don't feel like we can be impactful with, and so I'm very cognizant of the fact that, this is someone's dream, whether it's Venus Gillette or it's a startup music tech company. Like, this is someone's dream. And there are people, if we believed in it enough to take them on as a client, then we believe that there are people who need to see this. So we need to figure out how to maximize the potential of that. And I need everybody on board. I think marketing is an experience game. You can learn everything in every book about it, but you got to be able to start applying that somewhere. And, I don't think it's about having a resume of 6, 7 things and jobs and marketing. I think it's about, were you passionate about this enough to try to build your own portfolio? Can you show me a case study of something that you just were like, I'm super interested in this and I wanted to learn it? Or, what were your extracurriculars? And not that I want to hire people that are exactly like me, but I do remember before I had the opportunity to get my hands dirty, I was figuring out every way I could to try and learn something. And so, again, just people who are hardworking, curious, passionate, and ready to work.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I have one more question for you. So I know that you are involved in, various projects and initiatives. So I wanted to give you the floor and just ask, is there any recent projects that you're particularly excited about that you may want to share with the audience today?
Yeah, sure thing. When is this coming out? This might be like an exclusive.
Drop next week, I think, probably like Monday.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, that's fine. We'll see how it goes. So, lately I've been speaking. I've been doing a lot of speaking engagements. I was very fortunate to speak at Inbound, powered by HubSpot, which is one of the biggest marketing conferences in the world, and a good one at that. And I also spoke at the inaugural Marketing Lane conference. I spoke at Indie Creator Society, which is a creative platform dedicated to creatives, being their best, getting paid their worth. And they did a wealth summit in New York. So I've spoke about this thing about 3 times now. And it's this concept that I developed over the past year called I Am the Marketing Plan. And it is about the power of, you can say, owning your power. whether it's through, personal branding, professional branding, brand branding. And it's really about authenticity. It's really about the fact that, there's something about you or about the product or about, you career wise that's great. Figuring out what that is, standing in that, maximizing the potential of that, and getting paid for it or producing results for it, right? Hitting that ROI, whatever that means to you. It's also about the everyday person, just again, understanding that you don't really need anything outside of you to be who you would like to be. You just need, to figure out, what value it is that you have and want to add and figure out how to consistently and creatively do that. And so, very excited about it because I think it really bridges the gap between kind of both sides of me as a person and my own brand, which is very much marketing, but very much life. Very much affirmational, very much, I don't just want to have the things and the success. I want to be the person internally, not just externally. And so I'm very excited to continue speaking on that. We're definitely going to be doing some more live versions of it, and there may or may not be a podcast coming finally. And so, yes, I'm so excited about that. Always excited about all of our clients. I do have some other announcements. The company is expanding into some other areas that I'm also excited about, but I'll hold that one down. But I am the marketing plan I'm extremely excited about. It's been a while since I've built out a brand not for a client. And so I'm having a lot of fun just creating from scratch and creating in this new beautiful hybrid world that we're in of both virtual and in person. So, yep, I'd say that's what I'm excited about.
Well, I am very excited about that too. I cannot wait to see what else there is to come with it. So just as we wrap, I just like to say thank you so much, Junae, for sharing your, valuable insights and experiences with us today. It has been an absolute pleasure. I am just truly excited. I'm like gushing over here. So I just look forward to staying connected and, witnessing your success throughout the marketing industry. And as a forever fan, I'm just congratulations on all that you're doing. And thank you so much for joining us today.
You. Thank you so much for having me. Shout out to your professor for creating such a cool project for you guys to do. Again, I know I mentioned this before we started, but I remember mine and how nerve wracking but important and fulfilling that was. And so, yeah, this is my pleasure to do that. And I'm wishing you much success. Congratulations on completing your degree, and I'm wishing you much success in the field. You give me a feeling that you're going to be great. So, I'm here looking forward to staying in touch, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.